Well, hi there, guys. Hi there, my friends. I am Clement, as usual, and this is my PuppeteerJS tutorial. PuppeteerJS runs on Node. It's a Node. It runs on Node. It's a Node library, and it's used for web scraping. It makes it really easy, and you can do so much with so little code. So this is the it's PPTR.dev, and it's the website shows the complete documentation for PuppeteerJS. So yeah, basically this it has a couple of examples that I'll not necessarily go through because I feel they're not very practical. I'd rather go through a really practical example of a use case for PuppeteerJS that you probably find exciting. And what am I going to do? It's not a big deal. Maybe I oversold it. Uh, I'm just going to use PuppeteerJS to automatically um, log us into Facebook. So I'm going to access this form's ID so that I can type in my email address, access this password ID so I can type in my password, access this button's ID so I can click, and then once I click, it automatically logs us in as usual. Then I get to wait for the navigation procedure. So when it's done navigating, it's taking its sweet time. When it's done navigating, anyway, I can do this without it being done navigating. When it's done navigating, I click on what's on your mind. Then I can type in what's on my mind. My name is Clement, and this is my YouTube channel. Please subscribe or whatever. I can tell PuppeteerJS to type all these things for me quite easily. So and then I'll hit post, and then it posts the what I want. So this is what I want Puppeteer to do. So let's get into this. Well, to get into anything that uses the Node engine, you need to have Node installed. So just go to nodejs.org and download the latest version. Then I'm using Visual Studio as my code editor. You can use whatever editor of your choice, but if you want to follow along, you can just download the free editor. So let's get into the code. As you can see, I've got VS Code already opened, and I have already done npm init. That's why I have a package.json here, and I also installed PuppeteerJS by saying npm I or install. Either one works. Install dash save to save it as a dependency, and Puppeteer. I did this, and that's why Puppeteer is here under dependencies. This is all we really need for this project. It's amazing how small our package.json is with what we're going to do. So I also have a config.js which holds my authentication credentials, which I do not want to be shown on the screen. So without further ado, let's move on to index.js. And the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to bring in Puppeteer by saying const Puppeteer is equal to require Puppeteer, since I have it installed. And one thing I failed to mention in the beginning, PuppeteerJS runs purely asynchronously, meaning that like all of the functions in PuppeteerJS are all asynchronous functions. Hence, we need to wrap the whole code in an asynchronous function, or to be more specific, in an asynchronous anonymous self-firing function. Asynchronous because async here, asynchronous anonymous because there is no name to this function. There's no need to. Self-fire because I'm adding a bracket, like two brackets, open and closed, at the end of this call, so that it can fire automatically and asynchronously. So yeah, what goes on in here? What goes on in this function? Since I'm going to write an asynchronous code, I'll rather wrap it in a try-catch block. Just type in try-catch and tab. Does this thing automatically with the VS Code. So yeah. So the first thing I want to do, I want to catch any errors by saying console.error. Error. Yeah. Or you can see error. That's fine. Then for my try, I want to first of all follow what was being done here and create a browser, then create a page. And what it's doing here, you can also take screenshots with PuppeteerJS. You can take screenshots, save it as an image or a PDF. There's so many things you can really do here, but I will be touching only on the Facebook bits, which I feel is a bit more useful. Yeah, so going on, I'm going to say I'm going to create my browser instance. So const browser is equal to await puppeteer.launch. And puppeteer.launch takes in a couple of options, which I'll add right now. I'll add only one for now, though, headless. I'll set headless to false because I want to see what's going on in the browser. I also want to create an instance of my page from the browser. So I'll say const page is equal to await, and I'm going to await this functions because it's a asynchronous. Puppeteer.launch doesn't happen immediately, so I have to await it so that I can get a complete instance of browser. And I'm also going to await my page creation, which I do by saying await browser.new page. Okay. It takes in no argument, so we can go on. Then I want to go to Facebook. Await page.goto and say https www.facebook.com. Then I can say console.log done. So if I do this and I run node index on my console, it should go to facebook.com and say done when it's done going to facebook.com. See, done. So it's gone to facebook.com, it's done, everybody's happy, so I can clear this. Or before I end the session, already ended the session. Let me run it again to show you what I want to do. The first thing I do after I go to facebook.com is I want to, as I said earlier, get the input identifiers the same way I'll do if I'm building a regular application. So I'll right click this and inspect. If I right click and inspect, I'm gonna again inspect the email form. Didn't work. Inspect. Yeah, it's cool. I'm looking for an input with a name of email or an ID of email. So that is pretty easy to do. I'll just say await page.wait for selector. That's after I have gone to Facebook. I have to wait for it to show on the page. That's why I'm using the wait for selector. I'm going to wait for the email. Then after I wait for the email, I want to be able to type the email in the email input box by saying await page dot, well, you guessed it, type, and I'm going to type where inside the email box. Now what am I going to type in the email? Well, duh, my email, oosuide@yahoo.com. Feel free to use your own email, it still works, obviously. So after I type in my email, I want to type in my password by saying page type. Yeah, and I am going to type, the password. We need to get the password identifier. And to do that, I'll just hover over the password input and right click and inspect. Then it has an ID of pass, so I'm waiting for a password with an ID of pass. Pass. And what's my password? Definitely I'm not going to type it out for you guys to see. So I'll just say const config. Const password, because this is out of my config folder. That's why I created a config folder, and I'm going to require that config folder. Say /config dot password, because I create a password. I am not going to show you how to do this right now, but let me just show you how to do it. Let's say this is my config folder. I'll just do module.exports, right? And is equal to an object that's password that says my super secret password. So this is how my PuppeteerJS folder is right now. Oops, don't need to save it. So this is what you have to do in your PuppeteerJS folder to have this same thing work out for you. If you don't want your password to be public, I definitely don't want my password to be public, so I'm doing like this. So password is password, and then I want to submit the form. So I right click on this login button to see the identifier, and as you can see, it says an ID of u_0_2. I don't want to use this ID because I don't like using non-semantic IDs. So instead, I'm going to identify the login button by the type attribute. And just for the sake of knowing how to identify with type attributes, with any attribute really, I'm going to use an attribute. So I'll just await page.click this time to emulate a clicking operation, and I'm going to click on how do we identify attributes. We do that by square brackets and then the attribute name type. Okay, I think I usually like using backticks. So backtick, then the 2 square brackets, then type equals to in this case I think the type was submit, if I'm not mistaken. So it clicks on submit, then this should automatically log us in, and I'll say console.log, yay, we are in Facebook, logged in, whatever. Just take us, just log in. Oops, my bad. Take out the previous console.log before, and what I want to do, okay, await page.wait for navigation. This wait for navigation is an operation that literally waits for a navigation to occur before it does anything. So it waits for the navigation. So that's what we need. So far so good. This is fine. I think one more thing I want to add, since I don't want it to be like super fast. Or okay, let me show you the super fast version before I slow it down a bit. So I'll just save this, close the instance of the browser, then run NodeJS again. So run NodeJS should log us into Facebook right now by typing in this. Yes, it's working according to plan. So it's logged us in, and we are sitting in money. Okay, so as you can see, this is what we have right now logging into Facebook, but the navigation isn't done yet. So waiting for the navigation to be done. Then navigation is done now, and it says, yay, we are in Facebook, logged in. That's not proper English, but okay. So as you can see right now, this is my screen. I'm having this black overlay. I think this black overlay is a div, so I want to simulate clicking on it first to make it disappear. But if this doesn't show up on yours, you can just exclude that part. So I just want to simulate clicking on any div at all. Clicking on anything at all on the page will get rid of this black shade. So I want to click on it with my Puppeteer. But I did that manually just now anyway. So I want to click on that. I want to simulate that with Puppeteer, and I can do that by saying, after you wait for the navigation, await page.click. Like I clicked on the submit button, but I just want to click on any random div. And let me just leave a comment here that says, this is because Facebook leaves some black overlay if you log in with Chromium. I'm saying my Chromium. It may not be the same for yours. It may not be the same for yours. So you can leave this out, as I said before, if it doesn't show up. So after I click on that div, I want to click on this create post input box. I want to click on it, but I need to know what I'm clicking on before I actually click on it. So I'll right click this and inspect. Let me see. Okay, let me do that again. I'll inspect. I think what I want to click on really is not, I want to click on something that's semantic, so I rather find something semantic to click on. I think I saw something earlier. Semantic. Give me a sec. But basically what I usually do is I think it's what's on your mind. What's on your mind? It has an area label of what's on your mind. Okay. Let me go to the second one. Okay, yeah, this is what I'm looking for. So basically this, I want to click on this area label, what's on your mind, also Debamed, which is my other name, because I know that it's not going to change anytime soon on Facebook, and I'm pretty sure in the next 2-3 years it's going to be there. So it's a reliable identifier which you have to find on your page. The others aren't reliable. So I'll be searching for the area label of what's on your mind to click on. That's after I click on this div. So after I click on this div, I'm going to say await page.click on an identifier that has an attribute of area label, and the area label value is I think it's what's on your mind, comma, Osadeba Ben, question mark. I think this is correct, but obviously this will probably be your name in your Facebook account, so feel free to use your name. As I said, I search for what's on your mind here, so you can easily search for what's on your mind, and you look for the area label by searching here. But how do I search here? It's really easy. Just press Control, hold your Control and press F. It will raise this search bar, and you can search in the Chrome Dev Tools. So going on, after we click on that, we want to type something, yeah, but there's a problem with this. We cannot identify this input box and use a .type method on it, because quite frankly this is not an input. Let me take this out. Let me make it a little bigger. Come on. Okay. So this is not an input tag. This is, Facebook does this thing. I think Facebook and Twitter does this thing where it looks like an input and it blinks with cursors like an input, but it's definitely not an input. Instead, when you press a button, it utilizes your key press JavaScript event to input text on the screen. So it emulates an input tag that it's not. So how we get around this, we don't use .type, but we have to access our keyboard events as well and input our keyboard events into well, the screen. It's really easy, don't worry about that. It may sound complex, but you get what I'm talking about. So basically, I just want to define a word. I want to define a word and say or sentence rather. Let sentence equal to I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky, for example. Yeah. So now that I have this, what I want to do, before I go on, I want to set a viewport, because I feel that the screen is too small, and by default, Puppeteer gives us a viewport of 800 by 600, but I want to change that, and that's really easy. After you create your page, you just want to do await page.set viewport. And the set viewport takes in a couple of an object of options that has a width property. I'll just say 1000. Yeah, 1000 should be fine. And a height property that is let me make it say 600. That too much? No, 600 is fine. Yeah, to make it a little wider, I think it's better. So after I define my word, so I'll just say type inside create post. If I define my word, I want to use a for loop. I want to use a for loop. Oh, before I click on, sorry, I'm going back. Before I click on this area label tag, I want to wait for the selector to show up first. to prevent any errors. So I would like to wait for the selector, wait for selector, the area label tab selector. Then I want to click on it so that I can be sure it's there before I actually do the clicking operation. So sentence. After that, I want to do a for loop, and do the regular for loop, no biggie, basic JavaScript. Let I equal 0, semicolon. If for I is less than sentence dot length, semicolon. I want to keep on adding one more character to the I. And yeah, this is what we have so far. That I want to. There's a special operation that I told you we want to access the keyboard event. So we just do await page.keyboard.press, and I want to press these keyboard events because we know definitely that when we click on what's on your mind, the area label, we know that we're automatically focused. So we know that if we're focused on an input or on something emulating an input, like this case, we know we can, if we press our keyboard event, something will appear on the screen, which is our keys. So we want to say sentence, then square brackets I, so that we can output each of these characters, including the space and everything, into the post. After we do this, we want to say, okay, let's just stop here first. Let's stop here and let's see what it gives us. And to make it a little slower is another property I love to add to Puppeteer.launch, which is slow-mo. Let's give it a slow-mo of like 100 so that I can see it's a little clearer. So with all that talking and yammering, let's see what we're going to get on the screen. I'll just end the process and run NodeJS again. And I shouldn't be posting anything yet. I'll just be typing on the screen. So NodeJS, let's run that. Let's see what it gives us. Yeah, we've set our viewport so it's a little wider, and we're going to type. You can see we're a lot slower than before. It's typing a lot slower, maybe too slow. But if I log in, it should show me that black thingy again. I'm waiting for navigation. It should show me that black stuff again, I think. It's meant to. If it doesn't, I don't really care. Yeah, here we go on cue. I wonder why it's taking so much time. Taking too much time. Okay, so it took too much time, and as you can see, it showed me a timeout error here. How I usually get around timeout errors, like probably this was caused by my slow as hell internet connection. I just do something like await page.set default timeout, default navigation timeout, and I put a large value here. The default value is 30 seconds. I'll just put like 100,000 or 1,000 seconds. So let me just close the process, CLS, run my NodeJS again. It should be a lot better this time. Maybe it was too slow. Maybe let me also increase the speed. Make it slow-mo of 20, maybe 20. Run NodeJS again. Yeah, so it's typing. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. So yeah, that works perfectly. Really, it's really perfect. So yeah, okay, let's go on. I think what we can do. I don't want to even check for this post event, this post identifier. there's a really neat trick I usually do. You can to press or to post on Facebook, you can hold your control down and press the enter button. So I'm going to be emulating that holding of control, press the enter button and moving your finger away from the control. I'm going to be doing that with Puppeteer to post. So you usually just hold your control and hit enter to post. So how do I emulate that on Puppeteer? Well, it's really easy. But note, I want to post only after I am at the final character. And how do I do that? I'll just simply say if I is equal to sentence.length -1. I want to do a couple of stuff. First of all, I want to wait for a while. Just wait for, let me say 2 seconds maybe. I don't want to just do it immediately because sometimes it's too quick. I don't like that. It doesn't feel human enough for me. So I'll just wait for 2 seconds. Then I'll say await page.keyboard. If I want to hold a button down, I'll say .down. And I want to hold the control button down. And when I hold the control button down, I want to await page.keyboard, press the enter button. And how do I press the enter button? Basically, I want to press it from the character code. The character code for enter, is 13. It's common if you're used to keyboard events. So you can just Google character codes to get all those character codes. Just go character code, or let me just do. Maybe that's not enough. Character code, JavaScript or something. Check. Yeah, I think there's a place you can see character code at. I don't want to go too deep into this. I just want to show you how to check for these things if you need more help with them. Maybe I'll do that in another video, but for now just know that the character code for the enter button is 13. We can just do more extra searches. I think on Mozilla developer.org you may be able to find out different character codes. Yeah, so I'll just say string dot from charcode 13, which means that we want to convert whatever has a character code of 13 to what it actually is. So this from charcode 13 is converted to the enter button. So now that we have this, after we press the enter button, we want to take up our fingers from the control button. So I'll do page.keyboard.up to remove our fingers from the control button. So this should post this quite easily for us. And when we're done with this, we'll just say, we'll say done. Come to the logger. Yeah, so this is pretty chill. I'll just say node index. Let's see if this will work. Hopefully it will. It should log for us. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. So to sign in to Facebook. It's waiting for navigation to finish. Hits the post button. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Waits for 2 seconds. Hits post. Then it's posted it quite easily. And so I'm just gonna delete this because I know people thinking I'm going crazy or some shit. This is just a tutorial video, so I'm just gonna delete the post. Yeah, that should work. So that's as much as I'm gonna do in this video, really. We can actually do, like, the benefits of this is immense. We can do so much better than this. We can even create, like, let's say we create a sentence list. Let's sentence list equal to an array of words and say I love my mom or my books or something. I love my mom, but something random. I love to go out and have fun. I'm also gonna get school for this. Then I want to be, or I was saying this is an automated message. And if let me just console this out. If I have a sentence list, I'll have a double for loop. Sadly, I have to do a double for loop for this. So I'll just do for let j equals 0, j less than sentence list, right? Dot length, which is 3 in this case. It could be any value really. Then keep on adding values to j. Then press enter a couple times. Then I want to move this entire logic into the outer for loop. And then now I have my two for loops. I want to define sentence. I'll say let sentence. I'll bring this down now. Let sentence equals to sentence list. Not this anymore. Sentence list square brackets I. So this can have like a list of unlimited amount of sentences. Hey there, I am starting a new business, or whatever, anything you want to write really, but be sure not to spam. This is not for spamming, this is just to make life easier. Like you can just follow the Facebook terms and conditions. Don't spam, it's very bad. This is just for, you know, educational purposes and experimental purposes. So, but you can use this for your, I don't know, for your business or something like that. So, these are 4 posts, and I want to wait for, let's say, after each post, I want to wait. I'll wait for page dot wait for. No, I'll do it here inside this block. I'll do inside this block. Await page dot wait for. Wait for, like, let me say wait for 10 seconds so that it doesn't seem so spammy. So this should work. Basically, it should post this, then post this, then post this, then post the last one. Let me just change this message so I don't look weird. This is a test message. Test message 2. Hey there, I'm starting a new business. So let's see how this works. So we're logged in, and it waits for this black stuff to show up. Then it waits for navigation as well. Navigation's taking a while. When the navigation is done in the next 1 second, it clicks on the black stuff. Then it posts something, or it's meant to post something. I think there's a problem here. Oh, I is not defined. Oh, my bad. This is meant to be J, not I. God. So J here, not I, since J is the first one. You guys probably saw this and probably punching me right now. Well, it should work now. Node index. I'll log us into Facebook. Probably cut a lot of this parts out because takes some time. Sometimes I have really slow service. It'll be faster on your end. So we'll log on to Facebook. Log on to Facebook. It shows this black overlay, but it still waits for the navigation before it does any operation. Navigation should be done in about a second. Clicks on that, types, this is the test message, hits post. Is there a problem with my request? Why is there a problem with my request? I have no idea. Okay, I think basically Facebook is really smart. They do this thing where they know if a message is fake, and so maybe I just need to make this a more realistic message. I want to be the change that the world is waiting for. This is a really long video. Maybe I'll just cut a couple parts out. I don't know. Waiting for. Then I'll just run this again. Hopefully it should work this time. Wait, those phases can be really funny, I know. But let's just see if this will work. I'm log us into Facebook. Right now I've reduced to like 2 messages, so it doesn't seem all spammy. But really, this should work if you have legit content to deliver to the world. It should work, like, without any of these issues. Wait for this black overlay, which shouldn't show up in your own. Probably it shouldn't show up in your own. So waiting for it to load, hits it, begins to type. I want to be the change that the world is waiting for. Then hits post. Then it's posting. Yeah, it's posted. It's gonna wait for 10 seconds now to post the other message. Okay. I think it's gonna post the other message in 10 seconds. Or is it? It's meant to. Oh, I think I know the problem. It actually let go of control, but it still didn't post the second message. Give me a while, I'm going to debug this. Just a while. Hey guys, I'm back. So after a couple of like about 8 minutes of debugging, I finally came into the problem, and that is because I stupidly forgot to focus on the input after I was done. Like, why would I even forget that? So I'll just take the selector. I'll wait for the selector again, then I click, but there's no point waiting really, so I'll just go ahead and click. I'll click, I'll wait for 4 seconds after it's done. After it says done, then I'll click on it again and continue the cycle. Yeah, as you can see, I added a couple new words here, just so you know. It's not a big deal. It's just I have to change. You have to change words constantly to test, because you can't post the same thing at the same time in Facebook. It doesn't work. So I'm gonna do this one more time, and hopefully I can end this video without it reaching an hour or something. So sorry for that. So we're hopefully this should cycle around this process perfectly and post all of these. So node index should load. Then it should sign us in. After it signs us in, we wait. Shows the black overlay. Keep on waiting for the navigation to end in the next 1 second or so. Then it can post. But oh, dang. It waited too long. Wait, unknown key? There's an unknown key? there's an unknown key here. Oh, my bad. I think I'll just say I will give just about any. Yeah, I think this. I copied this quote from the internet, so I'm not sure it will work. Oh God, sorry for all these errors. Let me just cut this, end the process, run node index again. It should work this time. So into Facebook, email, password, login. We're logged into Facebook. We're waiting. Black overlay. I'll wait for navigation to be completed. And yeah, let me just put that in focus. So let's type in our text, especially about me. Yeah, it's gonna wait for 10 seconds. It's gonna hit it again, and it's gonna type in another sentence again and hit post. This is a real long sentence, I know, but you can see it types everything automatically and quickly too. Yeah, this is a really long sentence, my gosh. Okay, at least it sends the two, and they're both posted. So yeah, yeah, we're back to, because this ends like this anyway, so we're back to create post. So you can see how we successfully created those two posts, ran through the cycles, and quite easily. And my advice, if you want to use a for loop, you have to use this for loop when using Puppeteer and not use the for each loop, because this for each loop does not return. The for each loop returns a new function, which is a new instance, and the page cannot work inside a new inner function. It has to follow this pattern and walk in its own original page instance. So that's why I'm not using the for each loop here. This is the best loop to use for Puppeteer. And yeah, this video has gone on really long. I'm sorry for that, but I hope you learned something at least about how to use Puppeteer. So if you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe and leave a like.